Hello and welcome to Weekly Weird News. I'm Dan, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
And Claire.
Hey.
Yeah, it's been an eventful weekend.
Yeah.
I was very drunk last night. Yeah, we're going to talk about some weird news and, we'll crack on from there. So alright Mike, what's the first one we got? Here, this one's hand selected by me. Woman says she's fallen for alien after UFO abduction and that they're better than British men.
Well.
Doesn't take a lot.
Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, I don't think she can make that comparison because she hasn't had sex with every single British man and then produce some kind of average rating for us as a nation in bed.
I bet she slept with enough to get a decent,
Maybe she's just saying they're better, not just in a sexual capacity. Maybe there's like a marking score over, how much they make her laugh.
I don't know.
Over different points.
how hard they make her come.
You just jumped straight in there with that one.
That's what she means, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's face it. It's not beat about the bush.
Well, Abby Bella, who is an actress, has landed herself an out-of-this-world lover. She claims she has fallen for an alien after being abducted by a UFO. Now, you see, the term abducted to me lends a bit rapey.
Yeah.
Abby reckons she was taken from her bedroom window this month. Actress Abby, who is in her 30s, says her E.T. paramour, ooh, I like that, is her soulmate and better than any earthling, although she's still waiting for a second date with her sweetheart from the Andromeda Galaxy.
Do you think it's just a rapist in an alien mask?
You know what, it's a possibility.
It's more likely.
She said, I am sick of men from Earth. I joked online about wanting an alien to abduct me. I then started dreaming every night of a white light. One night, a voice in my dream said, wait in the usual spot. The next evening, I sat next to my open window. As I drifted to sleep, a flying saucer appeared outside. There was a bright green beam which transported me to the UFO. Abby claims there were 5 aliens which had a human build but were very tall and slender.
Gangbanged?
Yes, yeah. She said, there was one who connected with me. I felt the same. He said I had to consent to go with them, but I didn't want to say yes in case they took me forever. Abby said she was safely returned home to Canary Wharf in East London after 20 minutes. Is that it? 20 minutes?
The 5 of them?
The 5 of them? Quick wham bam, thank you ma'am, drop you back off in Canary Wharf in East London. Fuck off. 20 minutes and they're better than all British men? Yeah.
Well, probably double the average. Each, to be fair.
If there's 5 of them, that's 4 minutes each.
Yeah, still double the British average, I imagine.
You speak for yourself, pal.
I was being optimistic. Myself.
Does that include the time to eat the pizza? 4 minutes and the pizza.
1 minute in the pizza.
It's with a long lockdown. She now has an overnight bag ready and said, I hope he comes back. I am willing to visit the Andromeda Galaxy with an overnight bag.
So she didn't say yes in the first place, so it was rapey. They did abduct her.
Well, they said, yeah, I guess so. They didn't just abduct her and bang her. I mean, they said, do you want to come with us to the galaxy? And she's like,
an overnight bag?
I'm taking an overnight bag with me. I'm going to another galaxy. I'd better pack some spare underwear.
And a toothbrush.
And a toothbrush.
Bless her.
Yeah. This is the problem with, the super fast world of today. It's that even idiots like this gotta say because there's no news. You gotta have news, haven't you? I mean, she's quite attractive. Ish. She looks pregnant.
She does.
She does. She's impregnated.
Alien baby.
Well, that's not good. There you go.
I think she's just dreamt it.
Yeah, it's attention seeking, innit? Come
Yeah.
on. She wanted it so badly, she's convinced herself it happened.
And that's it. And even if she was to have an alien baby, she'd be whisked off straight away and we wouldn't know anything about it, would we?
We would. We'd notice her own bag on this.
Or mysteriously still there because the Men in Black came and got
Men in
her.
Black, yeah. They whisk her away.
Yeah. Well, either way, she claims she can't wait.
Good riddance. Earth would be better off without the bitch.
Alright, here you go, Mike. This one will raise your spirits, Mike.
A Tory MP is campaigning for every household to get a photo of the Queen.
Fuck off.
Oh, this is like
Joy
fantastic.
Morrissey, who represents Beaconsfield, said she'll be writing to the Prime Minister for his support for the wonderful, patriotic and unifying campaign for our country.
What is it with people wanting to be this whole unification thing? It's like we've always been fucking divided as a nation.
I'm all for unification, but not unifying behind the Queen.
No, it looks, you know, like when they have that Chinese, is it the Chinese guy that they've always got pictures of? They're like everywhere.
Mao.
Is it? Yeah.
Chairman Mao.
Yeah, they're everywhere. We don't want that, do we?
Nah.
That's what it is like though, isn't it? It was like when the husband died, like, wasn't it 2 channels it took over?
Yeah.
Mate, and every radio station.
Yeah.
For the day, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it was like, oh, Prince Philip's died, and all we had was like sad music all afternoon. It's like the guy was 99. It's not like he was taken from us fucking before his time, is it?
And everybody just fawning over him. He's a fucking psychopath. He said that he wanted to come back as a virus to kill us all.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't, because he was into the UFOs as well.
No, he said he wanted to come back as a deadly virus to help stop overpopulation. That's what he said. What kind of a sicko says that?
One who's extremely wealthy and has been living an incredibly good life for the last 99 years.
No time for any of them.
So you're not going to have a photo of the Queen in your house. What's she say? What's her actual quote? I am proud to be launching a national campaign with the British Monarchist Society to put a portrait of Her Majesty in every home, company and institution that would like one. It's time to rediscover our pride in being British by having a picture of a German on the wall.
Yeah. Fucking hypocrisy. It's unbelievable.
If I want a picture of a German on the wall, I want a picture of Kaiser Wilhelm in his pointy hat. In his Pickelhaube helmet. I want him.
I want Claudia Schiffer.
No, I do. Is she German?
I guess so.
Close
They
enough.
like Schiffer.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get off the ground. Not with taxpayers' money.
Nah, but she got nothing better to do. All the shit that's wrong in the country, and she wants a picture of the Queen on the wall, and that's going to make everything better.
Deluded, man.
I mean, who voted for that? Oh, when are people going to learn that just democracy just doesn't work?
Something's got to work.
Doesn't work because we haven't got a functioning media that's meant to work on our behalf. It's working on their behalf, spewing out propaganda. It's back to front.
I didn't know there was a British Monarchist Society for a start.
And did you know that Namibia and Suriname have greater freedom of press than we do? We're like 44th in the world or something.
You mean Namibia and Suriname, those powerhouses of democracy?
Got a better democracy than us.
Only just.
Only just, but it's saying something, isn't it? We're around them countries in the list. We're below them.
It's quite ironic because we keep getting told that our democracy is one of the best, because it's like, you know, it's like we founded the damn thing, god damn it.
Bullshit, it's an illusion. The Queen can
Yeah.
just change the laws at will.
Yeah.
You just made us the Queen look kind of hot in that picture. It's like a young Queen in a uniform.
The red jacket with,
Yeah,
the blue sash.
Yeah, the blue sash is really, and the red jacket's really doing it for me. I'm going to go back in time and fuck the Queen.
Good old Liz.
Which is a right goer.
Got a few kids, hasn't she?
That's it.
She want you to fertilise her egg sacs.
Yeah, you can't actually have sex with her, you just have to jizz on some eggs.
Right
And
then.
she devours you.
That's a downside.
Yeah.
Not devoured in the good way.
No.
No,
She
no.
just turns into a 10-foot lizard and eats you.
Oh. That's not so good. Whole?
Yeah, why not? Oh,
You just fall into her stomach acid, like, ah, burning to death in there.
yeah, head first.
Oof, I don't fancy it. And in that case, then I'm not down for it.
Moving on. So, there's conspiracy theory flying around that Trump will be reinstated in August, and it has officials worried. I was talking about this the other day because I've got a friend sort of that believes this. I thought he got it out of nowhere, but maybe he's been reading a bit of this. So, they're saying that Donald Trump will be reinstated as president, and it's caused concern at the Department of Homeland Security, according to reports. The idea has been floated about by people close to the former president, including Sidney Powell, an attorney who is being sued over the claims that Mr. Trump was cheated out of a re-election. by a conspiracy involving the operations of voting machines and communist leaders in Venezuela. And Mike Lindell and My Pillow CEO is also facing legal action for a series of far-fetched claims about the 2020 vote.
He just can't get over the fact he lost. It's tragic in a way. It's like old man shouts at cloud all over again, isn't it? I was cheated out of that election. It's like, yeah, but you weren't.
What happens if it does come back that some of this vote rigging, you know, according to my friend who's like proper Alex Jones, he's suggesting that the security on this recount is higher than it was for the election, and I was like, well, why would it be higher than it was for the election? He was like, well, because
they were outside shouting "Stop the vote," weren't they? They're trying to stop it. They're trying to literally stop democracy from happening.
Yeah. Well, he believes that that's going to, you know, come back as it was sort of rigged in.
The whole thing's rigged. It's rigged for the corporations. It's not rigged as he thinks it's rigged.
Yeah.
No. They don't care, because either way they win. Trump wins, they win. Biden wins, they win. Because Biden puts a better face on it.
Biden also had like a shit inauguration as well, in comparison to all of the presidents in the past. He said that these...
Yeah, because he doesn't inspire anybody, because he's fucking half demented.
And COVID was on, remember?
And COVID.
Well, this is he was like, all the military people didn't have all their, you know, medals on. He come out of a different door. Usually they all come out, you know, they do it all the same sort of way. And he goes, his was just some sort of back door shit inauguration, and it was almost fake. And he goes, also, Donald Trump didn't concede. Like, after, you know, a little...
But he did in the end. Did he not?
He hasn't conceded, so that's where maybe this you know, conspiracy theories come from. Because if Clinton, she conceded after 2 days, but you've got to go out and actually say it, haven't you? You know, I'm passing it over to X, Y, or Z, you know.
I don't think they need it. I think that's just a courtesy.
Politeness, like.
Yeah. Well, he showed during his presidency he's got no politeness or courtesy, because, I mean, he wouldn't... slagged off his predecessors all the time, didn't he? Which is a big no-no amongst US presidents. You don't slag off
everybody.
You don't slag off the guys that have come before you.
Look what he said about women.
Yeah. Pussy grabbing and all sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so while the theory has been largely dismissed as the latest in a series of substance-free predictions of a sort pushed by QAnon, reporting by Politico suggests that it's being treated seriously by some, you know, within the Department of Homeland Security.
Of course, because they're scared some nutters are going to believe it and storm the fucking... I was going to say, House of Parliament now, but it's not. Is it the Congress again?
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't have got in the first place, should they, really?
Oh, that was a farce. You can't tell me the police didn't let him in.
That was somehow staged, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just unsubstantiated, isn't it? It's like rumours on the grapevine, it's just bullshit.
Apparently Trump himself thinks it's going to happen.
Yeah, but he will when he's going to cling to anything.
It's just the arrogance of just saying, you know what,
yeah.
I didn't win.
This way he can say, I didn't lose, I was cheated.
And that's soothing his own ego.
Of course it is. It's always about his ego, that's all it ever was.
Yeah.
His ego is that big, he just can't admit the fact that he lost. But if he'd have won, the voting would have been the fairest ever.
Oh yeah, he'd have been like...
You know, if he'd have won...
No
recounts, there'd have been nothing wrong with it. If Biden could have screamed till he was blue in the face about election rigging, he's been, oh, you lost, get on with it. And that would have been it. Because he lost, it's like, oh, I can't lose, I don't lose. Oh, clearly you did. In the states where they did the recounts, yeah, alright, there was a little bit of a swing in some of them towards the Republican, but it wasn't enough.
Do you think he'll come back?
No.
I think he will. I think he'll have another stab at it.
Oh, no, not this August.
Oh, not this August, no.
No.
4 years' time, I think he still considers himself to be the Republican candidate.
Well,
he's not. He's got to go through that again, hasn't he?
Yeah, but in the polls, he's still miles ahead of everybody.
Yeah. But you never know, someone that might come along in the next couple of years. And you don't know, guy with a one eye, he seems like fun. He's jumping out of planes.
He seems like fun.
He's jumping out of planes and assembling his team of heroes. What else do you want?
He's got one eye.
He's got one eye, which is also bionic according to the advert.
Is it?
Links to his phone.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll see his policies before I comment.
Mike, he's got one eye and he jumps out of planes. How cool do you want? He's got my vote. But no, I do find it amazing that this is still going about, and it's just let it go. They're not going to do anything now. It's been ratified. He's in. The Supreme Court have ratified it. The Senate's ratified it. The Congress has ratified it. Your Republicans have agreed to it. You are the only ones still screaming about this. You and your fanatical band of followers. You're the only ones still screaming about this, and you're dwindling off, and you're making yourselves just so mad.
Yeah, but he's also keeping the embers going, isn't he?
Of course.
If he does run again in 2024.
Which he will. May not be him, but there will be a Trump on the ticket in 2024. Whether that's him, one of his sons.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Ivanka.
Maybe. Could be JFK Jr., who they said was going to come back and run with Trump the second time round. Do you remember that?
No.
JFK Jr. died allegedly in a plane crash about 10 years ago. Curse of the Kennedys and all that. And they were like, oh yeah, he's Q. JFK Jr. is Q. And him and Trump, he's got to come out of hiding. He had to go into hiding because of the global cabal elite who are going to kill him and his family. So he faked his own death, went into hiding, and he was going to come out and be Trump's running mate in the last election. But obviously he didn't. But people believed it. And you're like, I've come to the conclusion that things are so shit, generally across the world, unless you've got money or power, things are pretty sort of shit. I think that you just cling to stuff.
Desperation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's what my theory.
People like Trump know how to use that desperation, turn it into something that he can use for himself.
Where did they learn how to manipulate us like that? Who taught them?
Well, it was, what was his name, the nephew of Freud? Bernays?
Bernays Freud. Oh yeah.
Edward Bernays.
Edward Bernays, he was the advertising guy, wasn't he?
He was.
I always firmly believe all the way they know how to spin us and how to get their propaganda across. All them Nazis that went to America.
Yeah, Goebbels was probably the one that transformed propaganda for a political aim.
Yeah, and obviously he didn't go to America. He was captured by the Israelis and hung, but hanged. Hanged. I think both are acceptable. Hung.
For hanged.
Anyway, they put a rope around his neck and made him give him a drop.
I think all Western governments are copying it.
I think that's it. I think we all learnt from them. I think because so many of them came over to work for the West and the East, they just subverted our own democracy. Everything goes back to the Nazis.
Blame it all. Just blame the Nazis.
Well, capitalism and fascism are very similar. They both have
one goal.
Well, yeah, they're both run by sort of oligarchs, aren't they?
It was just a turning point, wasn't it? The World Wars, wasn't it?
Definitely the second one. That was, I think, everything that's happened in the world has spiralled from that. It's the echoes of that are still being felt. Look at civil wars in the Balkans where we just sort of drew lines and made new countries, and then 60 years later they don't like it and they want to go back to being where they were.
Israel-Palestine.
Israel-Palestine.
The Brits did that.
We did. We had the Cold War. And we did South and North Vietnam. We divided that. We occupied South Vietnam for briefly.
Do we go over there just trying to make a bit of peace? Draw a line in the sand.
Yeah, go alright.
You stay on that side. Then we chip out. They're like, fucking can't see. You see the line anymore.
Like, I don't like them guys on that line.
Yeah, they look like me. They sound like me. They're related to me.
But they're not quite me.
They don't believe the same thing as me.
So now I hate them.
Sorry, it sounded like the Sim Shady song. But the best thing, but I can't go. I can't do it.
Oh, Claire, you're not a rapper.
No.
I'm going to enter you in a rap battle. We're going to spend 6 months intensive rap training you. Yeah, it's true though. I mean, everything. I mean, we had a Cold War where we basically lived in fear of nuclear annihilation that could happen at any day. That went on for 50 years.
I mean,
imagine that. That sounds mental.
It is, but it's still better than a hot war.
Yeah, but that'd be over really quickly. At least we wouldn't think. Yeah. We wouldn't have to think too much about that. We just see what's that flash over.
It burns.
Things are better. I mean, we aren't firebombing each other's cities
yet.
You know what I mean? Okay, we're doing drone strikes with impunity out in the Middle East.
Oh, our new ships bombing ISIS now. Our new aircraft carrier's gone out there specifically to do it with its little carrier group.
God, I'm surprised there's any of them left now.
They just create more every bomb that goes off target, though, don't they? You bomb a wedding, you guarantee some guy's like, oh, fuck America. I'm going to go and join ISIS and just kill my family.
Of course.
You
Kill
know,
one, you make 2 more.
that's the problem, isn't it?
They know that. They want that. They want the terrorists as an excuse to build more weapons.
Yeah.
It's all a fucking cycle of...
Well, of course. I mean, that aircraft carrier cost 400 billion quid and it's got 22 billion fucking planes flying. Oh, God, how much are they, them F-220, the Lightning 2s? Fuck, they've got to be like 150 million quid a pop or something daft like that. They're like stealth.
Yeah.
You know. How much is that on its own? Just that ship? Then you got the submarine with it. That's like X amount of billion with all the billions of quid's worth and the nukes on it. You know, all the submarines got nukes on it. How much does that cost? You know, it's all just money for the companies, isn't it? And if you've got a forever war going on, because you can never really win a war on terror.
Of course you can't.
It's an ideology. You can never win a war against an ideology. Wars are only won by taking objectives. You know, it's just going to go on, and they get to, oh, well, they're using this new type of bomb now, so we need some new body armour and some new armour on our
and they
jeeps.
They use the media with the
to
TV and the internet.
to create an outrage.
Yeah, to make the want for war, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and to sell their shit. I mean, like, do you remember the outrage when our troops didn't have proper body armour?
Yeah.
And there's like, oh, someone's got to make that. The army's got to buy it from them. So you send them out there with the body armour. The company said was fine last time. It's not fine anymore. So you need a new model. You can't have a Land Rover anymore. You've got to have this armour-plated fucking...
Manufacturing consent. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
We should also mention that Tory Government Health Minister, Matt Hancock has resigned after having an affair and breaking social distancing rules, which I think is everyone seems more concerned about.
Yeah, rather than the fucking hundreds of thousands of deaths that he's presided over.
I thought she was in his spunk bubble.
Yeah, you couldn't see your granny, but he was licking Fanny.
The memes. It's just every other one, isn't it?
It
on
is.
Facebook. Crikey. Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, Boris should have sacked him. It's like, Boris is never going to sack anyone for having an affair. The guy's had loads. He's probably having one right now.
So what's he actually left for? He's left... I haven't seen his resignation, so...
I think he's just his sort of behaviour overall. Probably the breaking of the lockdown rules and all that. And the of course, the scandal of having an affair. Apparently he's with her now, though, which is nice. So he's found true love. Love in a pandemic. That could be a fucking romance novel.
He was with his missus at the time of the pandemic, wasn't he?
Yeah, what about his missus and his kids?
Well, yeah, it's a bit shit for them, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I'd be more concerned about the contracts he's handed out.
Yeah, to her as well.
To her as well, because she's an unpaid sort of...
Paid now.
Well, she was at the time.
She was unpaid, yeah, then he got her on the payroll.
Yeah, it's all a bit fishy, isn't it?
I'd actually like to offer him a virtual fist bump because I think he's punching above his weight. She's gorgeous. He's a weird looking man.
He is a weird looking man. And have you seen the little CCTV when he pops his head round the corner? Oh yes.
Grabs her ass as he kisses her. You're like, wow, Matt Hancock's a dog.
It's so cringy.
I mean, he's also a terrible sociopath, but you know, he's punching above his weight.
I don't care about his private life.
No.
None of my business. But what he does affects public life. That's what I'm concerned with, and the fact that he's failed time and time again, over and over again. That's what he should have been out for.
Well, yeah.
He totally fluffed up, talking on Good Morning TV the other day. They were asking him about the difference between the Scotland team, someone tested positive there, and then what's the difference between that and then a child testing positive in a class in the UK at the moment, because then they'd all have to self-isolate, but the Scotland team didn't, and he just sort of fumbled around and went, oh, well, this is a tournament, and they're like, well, that doesn't really excuse it, and you haven't answered the question, and he just,
Did you see his fake cry?
No.
Oh, his fake tear.
Yeah.
And he was saying, he was with the vaccines, wasn't
Yeah,
it? And he was
like, one got the vaccine, didn't he?
And he was like, just swiped away an imaginary tear.
Oh, it was so fake, Claire.
Was it?
What a psychopath. Who pretends to cry on national television to get sympathy?
Wow.
Matt Hancock.
Honestly, you have to look it up later.
I will.
Just tell me if you think it's real. I think it's complete fucking fake.
I think the genuine consensus is that it's fake, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just because it's a weird thing to get emotional about.
No, it isn't. It's normal, but it's just the way he does it, and he's laughing as well. He pretends to cry, but it's more of a laugh. It's fucking... What a sick fuck. Anyway, moving on from them cunts.
To another cunt.
Yeah.
Ex-gay, in quotes. Milo Yiannopoulos. Is that how you say it?
Yiannopoulos.
Yiannopoulos. Didn't he say it was okay to fuck kids as well?
Didn't he go around a lot of the universities in America?
Yeah.
And sort of, I don't know what he was trying to preach or whatnot. It's sort of freedom of speech type guy, is he? Or
Yeah, he's right-wing freedom of speech kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't believe in banning him. I didn't agree at the time when they did. But he said something controversial about it's okay to have a relationship with kids.
He did.
Something like that.
And that kind of finished his career then.
Yeah, and even the right wing were like, oh, hang on a minute, we can't...
Yeah.
Even though it's more, I'd argue it's a bigger problem on the right-hand side of politics.
Well, it's not all of it, but I'd say definitely.
Because it always tends to be the ones who shout loudest against it and ones that are really into it.
Yeah.
So they disappeared for a year or two, or a few months, I don't know how long.
But it killed his career because he was
It
quite
did.
the rising star of the alt-right. He was kind of one of the first
Yeah.
to get notoriety. And then he said that and his career and his books just stopped selling and he just fell completely off the radar, as Mike says, for a while.
Yeah, and now he's come back and he's reinvented himself. He's no longer gay.
Right.
He's setting up a gay conversion centre in Florida.
Oh, God. Yeah. I don't believe in any of that because you can't be ex-gay. You're either gay or you're not gay. You know, you're attracted to the same sex, or you're not, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, yes, you can be bi and go both
Yeah.
ways, but you're still attracted to the same sex in some way. It just puzzles me, and I personally think that ex-gays are basically just people who can't deal with the fact that they're gay. So they go for this thing and they go, "Oh my God, I've been cured. I'm gonna," and then they fuck women and don't enjoy it. But then 20 years later, you find them round the back of a fucking garage sucking a guy's dick.
Yeah.
You know, you find out he's been
Probably
doing it,
that every
and you
Friday
find out
night.
he's been doing it every Friday night all through his marriage. You know, the marriage is a sham.
Yeah.
You know,
Be true to yourself, man. It's...
you know. Anyway, so Milo, we're gonna stick with Milo,
Yeah.
has made the bizarre claim that dogs no longer bark at him, and he sees it as a sign from God that he should be ex-gay. The far-right pundit and former Breitbart editor told Christian outlet True News... Excuse my cynical laugh.
We know all about True News, don't we?
Yeah.
Rick Wiles.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fantastic.
That lunatic.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, the 2nd of June, that God gave him a rather, oddly specific sign, saying that he has been cured of being homosexual. Which, of course, he goes there saying can't happen. He goes, so when he says, when I made my announcement about being ex-gay, the first thing that happened, which will make you laugh, but it's true, is that dogs stopped barking at me. Because dogs obviously bark at gay people only.
Yeah.
So if someone breaks into my house and Max is there,
You know
if they're not gay, he's not going to bark.
You know dogs have great gaydar?
I did not. I mean, I know they've got a great sense of smell, but I didn't know they could smell gay. That's impressive. He says dogs didn't like him, but dogs don't bark at me anymore. Maybe he was just meeting the wrong kind of dog. Maybe he was trying to break into places and they were guard dogs. Now they seem quite like me, and it sounds like the stupidest thing in the world. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, obviously, he explained this while hosting True News, which is typically helmed by the emphatically anti-LGBT plus pastor Rick Wiles. You know, Wiles, who said that the coronavirus pandemic was God's judgment against queer people. And he got COVID-19. Because he's been sucking dick every Friday. You know it. You fucking know it. I'm sorry. All of these, especially the pastors, they're the worst for it. The amount of anti-gay pastors that get caught in a motel with a 14-year-old prostitute is fucking unreal. Yeah. Sorry, a 14-year-old male prostitute is fucking unreal. So Milo declared he was sodomy free. Well, Milo, in all fairness, mate, I'm sodomy free. I just don't want shouting about it. And he announced plans to open a conversion therapy clinic in Florida.
Do you think he rang up his grandma to Tell her that he was sodomy free.
I've been sodomy free now since the 2nd of June, Grandma. I'm so proud of you, Milo.
He's like, I'm not.
If only you weren't a Nazi.
Gonna cause uproar with the LGBTQ plus, isn't it?
It is. Is it LGBTQ plus now?
Yeah.
What's the plus for? Is there more stuff, but they don't want to make it really long?
Yeah.
They should have just kept it at LGBT then, really. LGBT plus. What's the Q for?
Queer.
Isn't that just being gay though?
Yeah, I don't understand.
No,
why
it's
it
just
was-
I think it's different. I think.
Is it a lifestyle?
Possibly.
A different kind of lifestyle?
Could be. I don't know. To be honest.
They can
Be
have
interested.
many letters
I'm
as
sure
they
if you go
want.
to the website, you'll find.
Yeah, I will. For instance, Milo says the lie that I could be a rabid culture warrior for the right and a sodomite at the same time, and I can't. Such as his career, for example, which tanked when emergently never actually written for Breitbart, a team of ghostwriters had. And in 2017, this is what I'm about, he was endorsing pedestry, which comments about younger boys having sex with older men. So basically, it's a posh way of saying paedophile, isn't it? Yeah. So he's trying to make a comeback now, isn't he? Mm-hmm. And he's clever enough to know that Christians, especially right-wing Christians, they love the whole prodigal son thing.
Yeah.
So he's come back, I'm not gay anymore, I've converted myself, I'm sodomy free, I tell you, sodomy free, Rick. And then Rick's like, can I suck your dick later? Because, well, fucking, I just solved it. Sodom is bum sex, yeah? Mm-hmm. He can still suck a dick, can't he? He can still have his dick sucked by a man. Just because he's sodomy free doesn't mean he can't enjoy oral.
Yeah,
and give and receive, yeah? Mm-hmm. You know, all the pastors are doing it, why not him? You watch, he'll get his fucking pastor's licence next, he'll be fucking Father Milo.
Father Milo.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he wants to get in with that crowd because all them Christians have got shit tons of money, or they must have because they give enough of it away. I personally think that we should, as a team, should go and become, I'll be the front man, I don't mind lying about God, because he doesn't exist for me, so it's alright. I mean, you can't lie about an imaginary character, can you?
You have a little name tag underneath, it says sodomy free since 93.
Sodomy 3 since 83, that's when I was born. Oh my God, just imagine, that can be you're the marketing manager, boom.
I've been sodomy free since 83.
And I just say some shitty stuff, involve God in some way, and we'll get people to send us a load of money. Does that sound? It's working, doesn't it?
Might as well. The world's going to shit anyway. Might as well fucking milk all the cunts for what they've got. Everything's
topsy-turvy anyway. You might as well have a left-wing atheist as a pastor. As a right-wing pastor. Why the fuck not? It's a job, innit? Yeah, Milo's back. It's the long and short of that. I'm sure the world waits with bated breath for his next fuck-up.
Yeah.
Really want to know if he says sodomy free though. I'll keep an eye on follow-up news for that.
Next up, a lobster diver in Cape Cod says a humpback whale scooped him up and spat him out.
Wow, do you think it's like the whale was just like, oh my God, what's that? It's like just swallowing a fly when we're walking.
Yeah. A commercial lobster diver says he escaped relatively unscathed after nearly being swallowed by a humpback whale in a biblical-sounding encounter that whale experts describe as rare but plausible. Michael Packard, 56, said in a local interview that he was driving off the coast of Provincetown, Massachusetts on Friday morning when the whale suddenly scooped him up. I was in his closed mouth for about 30 to 40 seconds.
Fucking hell!
Before he rose to the surface and spit me out.
Oh, how lucky is he? 'Cause I mean, whales have got teeth, haven't they?
No.
Haven't they?
It's like a brush, sort of bristles all along their tongues, and it sort of sweeps.
I think it's
the
called
krill
baleen
back.
or something like that.
Yeah. Can't see it being comfortable.
No. He should have been could have been gummed to death, couldn't he?
Well, he could have been swallowed.
Well, yeah.
He said, I'm very bruised up but have no broken bones.
That's fortunate.
If he was swallowed, it would have killed the whale, because the whale won't be able to digest him, I don't think.
I don't know.
Might have killed both of them.
It's a mammal, does that mean it has stomach acid?
Mike?
God knows.
Oh, right, I'm going to find that out. Sorry, Carry on reading, Mike.
Packard told WBZ-TV that he was about 45 feet down the water when he suddenly felt this huge bump and everything went dark. He initially feared he had been attacked by a shark. Then I felt around and I realised there was no teeth and I'd felt really no great pain, he said. And then I realised, oh my God, I'm in a whale's mouth. I'm in a whale's mouth and he's trying to swallow me. Packard was still wearing his scuba gear and breathing apparatus inside the whale's mouth, which he said was completely dark. Fearing he wouldn't make it out alive, he thought about his wife and sons. After about half a minute, the whale rose to the water's surface and began shaking its head from side to side. I just got thrown in the air and landed in the water, Packard recalled, and I was free and I just floated there. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I got out of that.
I can't believe you got out of that.
I know.
Because you wouldn't have any light source on you, being like, diving in the day. So you'd just be like, in the dark, going, whoa!
What a surreal moment, don't we?
Oh, and yes, you would be dissolved by hydrochloric acid in the stomach.
Right, okay then. Cool.
Yeah.
Could be a really bad way to go.
It's fucking crazy though, isn't it? Of all the chances, this whale was just like swimming along, doesn't see this dude.
What about what's it called, the air tank though? If that started going like, in the hydrochloric acid, would that not explode? Boom! Whale all over the shop.
How pressurised is it?
Well, some are 200 bar and some are 300 bar pressure.
It might explode. It might be enough to certainly give the whale some problems because all of a sudden you got like a jet of
gas.
It's going to give him. It might inflate the whale. What if it inflated the whale to the point where it exploded?
That's what I'm saying. It would seep out quite quickly. It would definitely give him the burps,
Oh yeah, which might propel you out. Make him sick. At least the whale spat him out. That's something.
Good whale.
Good whale.
Good whale.
Stroke the whale.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw Mike come flying out of the water feet first with his flippers on and land back in the water. Ace. He has a witness to it, so yeah. They witnessed it. I'll go for that. It's something that is actually probably true in weird news. Hey!
However, humpback whales have a small esophagus, so it's doubtful that Packard could have actually fit in the whale's throat. So it probably couldn't have swallowed him. That's probably why it did spit him out.
Yeah, because they just filter out loads of little mini fish, don't they? They're just like big sea sieves, they are.
Yeah, they are.
But they say if the whale had closed its mouth out of fear, it could have broken his neck or back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So lucky.
Wow.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
A man and whale are fine, so it's a good story overall.
Yeah, it's a feel-good story. It's the best feel-good story we've had for a while. I like
and he's
whales.
sorry to be free now.
The whale?
Right then, last but not least, lab analysis of Subway tuna sandwiches fails to identify tuna DNA.
Oh, I'm so glad I don't eat at Subway.
No,
I have, but I've never had a tuna.
I've never had the tuna at Subway.
I've never had a Subway.
Really? Never?
Nope.
I love their meatball Mariana.
Like Italian BLT.
Is that good, is it?
Just go to Mackey's and have a couple of 99p cheeseburgers. It's cheaper and I like cheeseburgers more than sandwiches.
That's it. So, a lab test commissioned by the New York Times failed to identify any tuna DNA in a series of Subway tuna sandwich shops. So, a reporter acquired more than 60 inches worth of Subway tuna sandwiches from 3 Los Angeles storefronts, then engaged in a specialised fish testing lab.
Wow, we need a fish testing lab.
Yeah. So there's 2 conclusions that a lab spokesperson told the Times. One, it's so heavily processed that whatever we could pull out, we couldn't make an identification. Or we got some and there's
just nothing
there's
there.
just nothing there that's tuna. So in February, when Inside Edition ran a similar test based on samples from New York, in a Florida-based lab, Applied Food Technologies did confirm the presence of tuna. So we've got some that saying there isn't and some that saying there is.
Yeah.
So in January, when 2 California customers filed a lawsuit claiming the products are made from anything but tuna, people have took that to court.
Of course.
Misrepresentation, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're saying you saying you're supplying me with a tuna sandwich. This doesn't taste like tuna. It's not tuna.
They allege that it's made from a mixture of various concoctions and ingredients blended together to imitate the appearance of tuna. That's fucked up.
That's nasty, isn't it? You've
It
got,
is.
you've got to have quite a bit of money just to go, right, this tuna doesn't sort of, well, it tastes a bit like tuna, it smells like tuna, but it's not quite tuna. And then take it to cook, take it to... You know, you've got to have a bit of money to do that, haven't you? You couldn't, you know...
Yeah, but it's like guy who sued Pepsi for the Harrier jump jet.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like, well, you're saying this is that, and that's misrepresentation.
They could probably get thousands, if not millions. I don't know how much they pay out, but yeah, I mean, you're eating a product that's not what they say it is. That's a big no-no, man. You can't do that.
Well, that's why there's this thing with the horse meat scandal.
Horse.
You're saying this is beef, it's horse.
Well,
I wanted dog or better.
Other class action complaints against Subway are claiming that their foot-long sandwich is only 11 to 11.5 inches, and that somebody's took them to court over that. Is there nothing the Americans will not go to court over?
Well, it's
No.
right, they're trying to scam us. They said a foot long, it's an inch shorter.
Well, that's why you should press it down and squish it out a bit.
Yeah, it's a foot long once you've squashed it in your hands.
Well, no, the what's it called should do that, shouldn't they? The
Yeah.
store people to make it.
I think the companies get away with far too much as it is.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em if they're going to fucking try and scam us. Fucking take them for all they're worth.
It's not a short of money, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then again, it's going to be the poor working people that will suffer, unfortunately. The money won't come out of the pockets of the executives, they'll just lay off some people further down the line. That's the only problem.
Yes, that is an issue. It's always the same. Always the same.
But yeah, so
Some seafood experts have suggested that Subway may not be to blame for its tuna. They might just be sort of they're buying a can of tuna that says tuna, and the fraud is possibly going on with it in the cannery.
well, that's fine. Well, if they can prove that, then we'll go after them instead. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
They've got to prove it, haven't they? Otherwise, we're going after them.
Mm.
Yeah, if they can prove it, that's fine. And then the cannery's a problem.
I think Subway are just fucking crooked. They've got no tuna, the sandwiches aren't long enough, and their spokesman turned out to be a pedo.
Did he?
Jared Fogle, the guy who did a Subway diet, lost loads of weight. He was a hugely obese guy, lost loads of weight. He was the face of Subway for years, like, yeah, you know, it's healthy and it's nice. Look at me, I was this fat guy. He's a pedo.
Huh.
Subway are just fucking dodgy.
All companies, most big companies are, I'd say.
Wasn't he doing that by having like no mayo and just like turkey? He went for the really leanest sandwich.
Turkey on
every
rye
day.
or something like that.
Yeah, the leanest sandwich every day. And
He also-
but he did lose weight. You got to give him that, you know.
He also did have a team of people helping him.
Yeah.
That would, you know, to test this Subway diet theory. Subway like funded a team of aides to help him out, you know, dietitians, things like that, exercise specialists. So it's not like he did it purely just by eating Subway. Anyway, he's a pedo, so fuck him.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it. Thanks for listening. I've been Ben. Don't drink the Flavour Aid, and don't say you're an ex-gay.
No.
Just be proud of what you are.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Thanks for listening. Don't eat the tuna sandwich. Subway.